Okay, so just a quick little video. I'm currently setting up my speaker stands. So bear with me a second. So I'm using these cheap and expensive steel stands. I think I got them from Toman, I think. Yeah, but yeah, so you've probably seen these. They're quite common. So I want you to listen to this. It's like a bell. The bass isn't so bad actually. The bass is pretty good. It's those top halves. Those top halves are ringing like a bell. So that's a natural as you would buy it out of the packet. And then this one, I want you to hear the difference. Let me put my fingers in the same place actually underneath the bass. I don't know whether it picks it up on the camera because I can't. Obviously, I'll have to need to listen to it back. But there is a ringing, but it's very, very low down. It's almost like really low bass. So how I've achieved that over the normal one is, and you're probably not going to be able to see it, but if you can see here where the holes are, I've stuffed the entire pipe with some of the acoustic rock wool, and on the bottom I've actually stuck I've stuck some of the leftover tech sound to the bass, to the actual platform itself, and it's completely killed those horrible bell-like ringing resonances. And whatever resonance is left in the pole is now really, really low down in the frequency range. So I'm gonna do this now with the other one because based on some and if I find the video, I'll go back through my history and link it. But the video was fantastic and it's what gave me the idea in the first place. But it was a YouTube channel, and I'll put a thing in text across the bottom here and link to the channel. But they did a test on these and some other stands. But I think the common thing with these is people fill them with sand. And obviously I wasn't going to go out and buy some sand, but I thought, I wonder if the rock wool would work. The rock wool on its own didn't work very well. This platform was ringing horribly. If I just tap the platform, it's like a church bell. And there's two different frequencies going on there. So when I filled the pole with rock wool, this was still ringing like a dinner bell. So that's when I got the idea for the tech sound. So I'm going to do the other one now, and I'm hoping that's going to make a huge difference then when the speakers are put on there, because the speaker stands do make a difference. The frequencies the actual sound coming out of the speakers will actually resonate and amplify these inbuilt resonances and frequencies within the stand itself, and it'll just amplify it and make it worse. So by killing that off now, I'm hoping that when these are in place, they're going to be a hell of a lot better performers as stands. But there we go. I just wanted to share that as part of some video to get, because that might give someone else a good idea. But yeah, anyway, there we go. On to whatever's after this in the video. Okay. I finished the speaker stands. I'm going to flip the camera around now and show you what I've done overall. So, put the tech sound on the speaker platform to deaden the platform. The entire tube has been filled with the acoustic rock wool. I've plugged the bottom of the tube then with some more tech sound, 2 layers of tech sound, just to make sure the rock wool doesn't get out. and then I've used electrical tape then all the way down each side and over and down to mask up the holes, basically to stop the rock wool getting out of the holes. Done that on both. On the bases then, even the bases are pretty dead. I've deadened them a bit more by cutting some strips of Texsound and putting Texsound on the bottom for a bit more damping. So there you go. They're on spikes as well. But what I'm also going to do, God it's hot, I'm going to cut squares or circles or triangles of Texsound and the 5mm sound mat that was used for the floor, and I'm going to make a little sandwich that's going to sit on the floor that the spikes are going to sit on. So the speaker stands aren't even going to sit directly onto the floor, they're going to sit on a sandwich of Texsound and the sound mat for additional damping, so that nothing basically is going to get through into the floor at all. And I might do the same then on the speaker platforms as well, to have a sandwich of Texsound and the sound mat between the shelf and the speaker itself for even more damping. And yeah, we'll see how that works out. But yeah, whatever's next in this video. Good morning and welcome to the setting up my listening position episode. So let me spin the camera around and I'll show you what I've got set up so far. So let me move the chair out of the way as well, because you get a better look. So this is where I've got to. Where I started was the stands weren't in here. The speakers were on the floor, pushed all the way in the corner, pointing out at the angle they are now. And I only had the right speaker playing, and as you can see I've got my centre line running pretty much all the way down the middle of the room. So I basically played some songs that I know really well and sat in the centre line and then scooted back a couple of inches every time, and I'm looking for that sweet spot where the bass, because you're only focusing on the bass at this point, but you're focusing on the bass where the bass seems to sit in with the rest of the mix. It doesn't seem too pronounced and it doesn't seem to disappear either. So I did 3 or 4 songs, and every time I scooted back and forth, and then I marked behind me, right sort of under my bum where my ears would be basically, I marked the line of tape, and then I scooted forward again, played a different song, repeated the same process, repeated the same process, and I essentially ended up with 2 lines of tape pretty much on top of each other, and then probably about 8 centimeters back I had another 2 pieces of tape pretty much directly on top of each other, so I've marked those as position 1 and position 2. And then I also measured out the 38% rule, and I was pretty close. You know, I wasn't too bad actually, I wasn't that far off. So what I've done then, I've created my equilateral triangle, set up my speakers, and at the minute I'm going for the position 2 because it's the midpoint of the 3 positions. So that's my starting point essentially. And the speakers are about, well, the tweeters are about 54 centimeters off this wall. The back edge of the speaker is 49 centimeters off the back wall. So at the minute I'm just checking that as my starting point. Hello, Dougie. Hello. Yeah. So that's what I've been doing today basically. Is I've been setting that up. So just in case, I'm using the Behringer reference A800 because it's a passively cooled D class. So I wanted something that was basically silent. And I've got the Scarlett 18i8 underneath the laptop there. So I've got TRS balanced outputs from the Scarlett into the back of the amp, and then I've got speak on to banana clips into the back of the Alesis Monitor 1 Mark IIs, which are old speakers, but they're absolutely fantastic speakers. I do like them a lot. So yes, this is where I am for today. What's today? It's Monday today. Yeah, it's Monday today. So that's pretty much where I am for today. I literally spent most of the morning just clearing out the room. Yeah, and stuff. If I do this as part of the same video, there you'll see the speaker stand setup, which is at the minute is looking pretty good. So you can see hopefully there I've got the speakers are on some little pads, and then I've got 2 layers of the 5mm sound mat that was used for the floor as an isolation, and then you can see the sound, the tech sound stuck to the bottom to deaden it. Yeah. And then I've got the speakers are on the little metal points, but then I've also got I've cut some 5mm sound mat, so that once I do finalize the position, then I'm going to put 2 of these. I'm going to put 10mm of the sound mat under each metal point to further isolate the speakers from the floor, so that they're not being influenced at all, or the room's not being influenced by the speakers at all. Yeah, so that's Monday. That's where we are so far. Just so you know, these taped lines here and here, that's the width of my desk. So I needed to know the width of my desk to ensure that the equilateral triangle doesn't impinge on my desk. So I know now that I can just slot my desk straight in there and it's not going to impede the speakers in any way at all. So that's where we are. I'm pretty pleased with that for day 1 of the listening position setup. I've got SonarWorks ready to go. Probably tomorrow now I'm going to be installing the bass traps in the corners. I've still got 1 column of bass traps outstanding with the DHL delivery service, and I've got to try and chase that up. So tomorrow I'll probably be installing the 3 corners and then waiting for them to deliver the final package, because that didn't turn up with the other ones for some reason. I don't know why. It's still showing us at the delivery depot, but anyway, yeah. Thanks for watching. Say thanks for watching. It's going to be the same video. On to the next day.